What makes DC's The Suicide Squad of 2021 different from their 2016 movie of the almost same name, Suicide Squad? Well, many more things than just the R-rated, deeper characterization, rapscallion director, premium swearing, delicious gore, and moral ambiguity right up the chocolate starfish. Written and directed by James Gunn, it's better in many ways, and the same in the worst ways. It's a soft reboot / wink wink sequel / Hollywood lazily cashing in on a recognizable property that finds another convict team of superhero adjacent misfits blackmailed into service to the American government, sent to the fictional dictatorship of Corto Maltese to eliminate a threat to democracy. Let the double crosses and high crimes and malfeasance begin, mostly perpetrated by the biggest threat to democracy, the American government. Hey there, movie maniacs, I'm Dunmore, and welcome to the Suicide Squad Top 5, Bottom 5.
Top 5. Bottom 5.
Let's start with the bottom 5 things about the Suicide Squad, starting with number 5 and working our way up to the worst.
5.
Same 12 actors. Michael Rooker opens the film with long blonde hair, looking sexy as hell, and immediately I thought, are there no more actors? Rooker was already a prominent character in one of James Gunn's other tentpoles, Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a Marvel property. And now, instead of letting another talented struggling actor make rent, Rooker crosses cinematic universes to appear in this DC film. Really? Are there no more actors? James Brolin was Thanos. Then he was Cable in the same Marvel universe. What the f***? And Sylvester Stallone has enough franchises to his name: Rocky, Rambo, Expendables, Escape Plan. Can they not give his role as the voice of King Shark to someone else? And his voice is so treated, Stallone is not even vocally recognizable. Nor is he doing the mocap for the CGI creature he's voicing. That's Steve Agee, who also plays a staff member. It's like wasting the salary on Vin Diesel to say, "I am Groot," from the comfort of his dick cheese bathrobe. Of course, it's their agents who have the casting company connections to these blockbusters. That's why the same 12 actors get all the work. And the astronomical salaries of the stars is well worth the cost of the viewers they draw. Their names are marquee Viagra. That's why any productions out of Hollywood are on this upward spiraling budget and downward spiraling creativity. Because they have to make back the money for hiring name actors. So they have to hire name actors to make back the money. Now, we can't begrudge anyone making money, but it's so transparently venal, with everything homogenized to offend the least people and maximize the viewership. But this is not like Clint Eastwood using his same trusted cast in a slew of fun 80s films for low-budget efficiency and reliability. No, these are blockbusters that could afford to hire new actors, new writers, new directors with new ideas. Now, every tentpole, you'll see the same 12 actors, the same 12 writers, the same 12 directors.
4.
An A-list, D-list. To subvert expectations, major characters die unexpectedly on the pretense that the movie is edgy, and on that conceit that all these characters are expendable D-list DC properties. Yeah, but the main roles are played by A-list actors. I mean, they tried to get Will Smith back, but other contractual obligations. So there's the obvious Will Smith replacement, Idris Elba, basically playing exactly the same character as Will Smith, down to his daughter being his motivation. So the arbitrary deaths are basically the D-list actors. Stop pretending like your highest paid A-lister might die, Margot Robbie. reprising her D character Harley Quinn. And it's going to be hard for A-lister Idris Elba to die as well, even though you've probably forgotten his D character's name by now. But Pete Davidson? Who gives a f***? D actor, D character. Like Marvel did with The Guardians, in the hands of Gunn, DC pulls out lesser-known properties like King Shark and Polka Dot Man and Peacemaker in an attempt to drag die-hard D-character fans out of the woodwork while throwing in those A-listers to keep it profitable. But if you want to be venal DC, why force untapped characters into the DCEU instead of dusting off your established properties that made more money at the worldwide box office than Suicide Squad? Because yeah, I want to see Henry Cavill as Superman in Man of Steel 2. Get to work, Warner Brothers dickheads.
Look what I won at the fair. Now I can drink out of my hat.
3,
Arc to Vanilla. Viola Davis is government agent Waller, overseeing the Black Operation. After the last movie built her into the most ruthless, vicious, callous mercenary who gunned down her own staff because they didn't have clearance, this installment totally loses its grasp of her character when her underlings knock her out with a golf club and suffer zero retribution. Waller represents a government operation so deadly it blows people's heads off for insubordination. And in knocking her out, her staff has mutinied against the government they are working for. And none of them lose their lives, let alone their jobs. All we get is a comic reaction shot of Waller holding an ice pack and looking at her staff like kids in a sitcom who've learned the meaning of decency. Whereas John Cena's character is an idiot patriot called Peacemaker.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
Waller is the intelligent, despicable dark side of that paradoxical statement. They show her disregard for life when she blows Michael Rooker's skull to pieces, and her reprehensible ethics when she blackmails Bloodsport into the team by threatening his daughter's life. Oh yeah, that's Idris Elba's name. The filmmakers forget that when her character comes to, she would simply shoot every mutineer in the fucking head. Twice, like John Wick.
2,
Characterless. Weasel. I mean, what the fuck? Even in this comic book universe where men shoot polka dots and a galactic starfish can communicate in English, this character just doesn't make any sense. It's a distraction because every time it's on screen, all I can think of is, it can't communicate. How does it even know to be here? The comic book character was a man transformed into a weasel, so he had human cognizance and language. But this thing is just a dumb animal. How did Waller communicate the concept of shortening its sentence if it performed the mission? And why is it in prison anyway? Oh, it killed 27 children. Yeah, but it's an animal. If a lion kills 27 children, you don't put it in human jail. How did they make it walk in a line for that slow-mo shot? Does it understand there's an explosive in its head? Does it even know what side it's on? James Gunn wanted it to look like that cartoon Bill the Cat. Okay, but without the barest human cognizance, you've created a character with no character. I don't care how much exposition you put. Ooh, exposition. Ooh, exposition. Just wait.
1,
Enough with the exposition. The worst, stupidest, most annoying thing about the Suicide Squad. Exposition. It's bad enough in a regular movie when it jumps out at you, totally divorced from the scene, like when two characters meet for the first time. Hey sis, hey bro, and then never call each other that for the rest of the movie. Now multiply that by 20 characters. Unnecessary dialogue, desperately trying to shape full life histories in 5-second screen time, with the filmmakers trying their damnedest to get away with creative ways to slide the obvious exposition by us unnoticed, like the office staff taking bets on which squad member will die first, while explaining to each other the members' powers, or one of the senior staff who should know the guy who put Superman in the ICU, asking who that guy is. Waller, the most insufferable offender, with a monotonal seen-everything attitude that gives Jack Reacher a run for his smug. Stop telling each other what you should already know, and especially stop telling the character what they already know about themselves. Here are some honorable mentions that didn't make the top 5. Nathan Fillion as the detachable kid, bringing his Firefly cool to an uncool role. Idris Elba as Bloodshot, the power, the smoothness, the badassery. Will Smith without spoiled woke elitist kids. John Cena as Peacemaker, who would eat a bag of dicks for America. And now, movie maniacs, the top 5 things about the Suicide Squad.
5,
Blood flowers. The Harley Quinn origin movie Birds of Prey had Harley shooting up a police station with non-lethal beanbags of glitter. Even though it was an R-rated movie, it seemed like a desperate PG-13 solution to firstly sidestep the gore creatively, and secondly, she's not so bad that she's gonna kill policemen. Fucking chicken shit storytelling. Here, James Gunn actually purveys a creative method of representing gore with cartoon flowers. Granted, these are dictator soldiers, so they can be murdered in good Western conscience, but this tongue-in-cheek filmmaker succeeds in distracting from the heavy gore truly creatively by seeming to take us on a journey into what Harley's deranged mind might be perceiving, instead of the same old Black Widow thigh jitsu action sequence.
4,
The director. Writer-director James Gunn has done for DC what he did for Marvel: bring D-list characters into A-list infamy and make us care about them. He does this through his unique flair for comedic timing, his countless creative shots, gut-shock action, and imaginative title cards. He's like a more tolerable Michael Bay. Directed David Ayer's 2016 Suicide Squad, which we now know is more of a studio Frankenstein than the director's vision, lacked the charm of this entry, which explodes with color and verve and contextual humor and grand lessons in film making. Either that or, god damn it, we're getting sucked into the style of these same 12 directors.
3,
Starro the Conqueror. I cannot give the filmmakers enough props for bringing the very first Justice League villain to life, Starro the Conqueror, and making him cool. Talk about walking a tightrope between goofy and terrifying. Starro is not, as originally written, some space parasite intent on conquest. His backstory here is changed to one of poignant victimhood. We learn that American astronauts encountered him in space and captured him and brought him to Earth to weaponize him. He laments to the squad.
I was happy, floating, staring at the stars.
Cute, tragic, Starro. Starro. Mike Zakowski draws this star. Dude, I'm gonna call him Starro. Dude, I'm so high right now. Oh, are we still rolling?
2,
Ratcatcher II. Daniela Melchior stars as Ratcatcher II, the hypersomniac daughter to an original Batman villain called Ratcatcher, who's played here for a few brief, poignant moments by Taika Waititi. Even though her character is written from scratch for this movie, Daniela brings a humanity and heart to what could have been the most shallow of paper-thin placeholders. Her arc from a reluctant casual observer to the actual savior of the day is as surprising as it is touching. Combined with the finale orchestra swell, grandiose hero shots, and the turnaround of her saving the life of the man who promised he would get her back alive,
this city is theirs.
She goes from that girl with the ratty hair that you never noticed to the woman you want to marry for her power and beauty. Margot Robbie may be the obvious sex appeal of the movie, but little Daniela steals the show.
1.
Banana democracy. If the Suicide Squad is about villains, then surely the biggest villain of all is the United States government. Not in a simple, hey, we install dictators in other countries kind of way, which is bad enough, but in a layered, ambiguous, insidious, anti-society, anti-human manner. Oh, you mean Republic? The film illustrates how a banana republic works by showing us the handsome dictator of Corto Maltese and his ugly policies. And by the time we realize it's an analog for the United States with brown faces, freedom fighters are rebelling against the fascist government by breaking into the president's headquarters to stop the new president from being sworn in. These Suicide Squad villains are only considered villains because they weren't the people who made the rules on what constitutes villainy. Because let's face it, the hypocrisy of a government that derides dictators and then installs dictators in other countries is equal to the irony of that same country not having laws to deal with latent dictators within its own political system. See the never-indicted Dumbo Donald after 4 years of daily high crimes and misdemeanors. And the Suicide Squad illustrates this government villainy transparently. They're pretty much saying, you think these brown people are villains? You think this purple starfish is the villain? Nope. This is the villain. So there you have it, movie maniacs. The Suicide Squad, top 5, The Flowers, The Director, The Conqueror, The Ratcatcher, The Banana Democracy. Bottom 5, same 12 actors, the Alist Dlist, the Arc to Vanilla, fucking weasel, goddamn exposition. You know, I could be wrong.
But you know I'm right.
Movie maniacs, stop me from reciting more exposition to someone who should already know it by subscribing or become my Patreon. And thank you to all my current Patreons. Share, like, donate, and I'll see you on the planet where apes evolved from men